What is up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a long time, and I do know our podcast system has been a bit screwed up, but we are here back for the first time doing a live chat. If you have any questions, feel free to use that live chat option. Man, and pray for me as this is getting interesting. All right.
Mike, shut up.
All right. Welcome back, guys. My name is Infinite Flight, and I'm bringing you back to the Frontier Virtual Podcast. We're about to launch into the Ding 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 Golden Episode 10. If it interests you, you can find us on our social media outlets, including our website, Frontier Virtual Airlines, if.weebly.com, or Instagram, which I think is going to get back up soon, hopefully, if Matt will get that together.
Maybe.
You can join us by going to that website, filling out that application link. Due to the fact that we are currently, and I've tried to stress this out to many people, but if you're just from the YouTube side and you don't come to the forums, you won't have noticed this. We are purely in hibernation mode. We're waiting for global, so there is going to be an extended delay on application acceptance simply because it takes me a bit longer to get through those. But a reply should be sent. Expect an average of 2 to 3 business days. The link to our website will be somewhere around here. Joining me today in the Frontier studio is my co-host and co-CEO, Matt. Matt, it's almost, I think in a couple days, it's going to be about 2 months since our last episode. What's changed since then?
What's changed? Let's see. I've been sick. That's been fun.
Yeah, if you'll notice, if you're listening in now, you can hear Matt sort of does have that rasp in his voice. So I swear he's not drunk. He's just sick. So we don't condone the drunk. Anyway, for those of you who have been listening in, what we're going to start out here is we're going to be talking about. I know we are the Frontier Virtual Podcast, but I do want to talk about something not related to the podcast for the first part, just because it's been such a major incident. How many of you, and you can go ahead and give it out in the live chat below. How many of you have heard of the aviation incident at San Francisco with the Air Canada flight? I literally just read about it today. Thanks to Mike. Thank you, sir, for sharing that link in our Slack. I actually got I skipped a heartbeat when I saw that, and I had to go immediately. I will listen to the audio. I listened to the audio of the live ATC type audio. It was intimidating. So, Matt, what are your views on that? How did you handle the news of almost the aviation disaster of history, even though that's kind of a extensive title?
Well, to be honest, I laughed. I thought it was kind of funny. I don't know why. I guess because it happened with Harrison Ford. It's just a recurring thing with whole death.
That doesn't surprise me because Harrison Ford. Actually, the second instance in which I found the link to it was on Facebook, and the top comment that had 2,000 likes was the first person said, "Oh, looks like Harrison Ford's been flying again," and so that just rings that bell there.
He joined Air Canada.
Somebody has to. No offense, Harrison Ford, we love you, but your license, man, it's garbage. I don't know how you ever passed. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. That was a interesting incident to be sure. All right. So I know a lot of people have been private messaging me, and I'm so sorry that I haven't gotten back to it. If you could tell, I'm a bit out of breath. I do have a lot of stuff to do on my plate. I got college that I'm hitting in right now. We had to do this live episode now because my whole week, all the way through Monday, is going to be booked completely solid. So thank you all for being patient. I know this episode was supposed to be yesterday. Stuff's happened. It's all out of our hands, but we're trying to do this for you guys because we love you guys. So thank you for tuning in to the 9 people watching. That means a lot to me, actually. I even
told Daniel.
Yeah, I even told Daniel, I was like, dude, I honestly do not expect anybody to tune in, but I will be very impressed if even 2 or 3 people. And I've been watching the live count, and we've been hitting between 10 and 11 consistently. So thank you guys so much. This means a lot. If you have any questions, and if the live chat or something doesn't work for you, just type it in on the forums because I've been monitoring that as well. If you have any questions there, I will be happy to help. All right, so I wanted to start out that with the real-world aviation incident, and I'm going to move quickly in because we're going to kind of keep this to about 40 minutes. We did talk about how we're going to extend the podcast time due to the fact that we aren't going to be doing it as often since we're in hibernation mode. So 40 minutes, give or take. First question, or more not really a question, but a statement that I would like, Matt, I would like you to help me elaborate on. Give us the reason, Matt, why Frontier Virtual Airlines, and we've talked about this a lot, is not maintaining a presence on the forums anymore. We're not having, events every day. You and I especially are not as active as we used to be. I do know I lost my regular badge when the regular purge happened, and I've just never gotten it back. So if you could just give our listeners a little bit of a insight into why we are not, as active as some of the mainline guys like, British Airways or, all the VAs out there. Why don't you give us a little insight?
Okay, do you want the forum reason or the real reason?
Well, give us both of them because I would like to discuss to people both reasons.
Okay, so a lot of us have been saying we're waiting for global, which is partly true. That's the forum reason. But also, me, Infinite Flight, and Daniel, we've all been really interested in X-Plane recently.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten a VAT sim, which if you don't know is kind of like the talking ATC of X-Plane, and we just really like the whole aspect how X-Plane already has global and it already has all the features we've been waiting 2 years for on Infinite Flight.
That was really the only reason I got X-Plane to begin with, was just that global aspect. And so go ahead and give them the I'll just carry on from here. But yeah, the main reason why we stopped publicizing our presence on the forums, and I'm actually impressed, we're still getting applications despite the fact that we're not that active on the forums anymore. So kudos to all of you guys. Thank you for keeping us in your loop. It makes me feel good, knowing that this virtual airline is still in a lot of people's minds, even though we don't publicize our group anymore. But the main reason is because we're waiting for global. A lot of our pilots just sort of, they were like, we know Frontier Virtual, you guys are getting your global routes together. There have been, if you can tune in when this becomes an actual video, you'll see Daniel will supply a link giving you access to the podcast playlist, or maybe it'll be off to the side, whatever. You'll see we have talked about global aspects. Tune back a couple podcasts, you'll hear me talking about how global is something that I've been looking forward to forever. I just want to spawn into DIA when global hits and look toward the west. That's been my big thing. FDS did say that, or they did drop the hint that global would be hitting sometime around the summer. They didn't give a specific date, but I've been very hopeful, but that hasn't happened. So I actually turned over to X-Plane thanks to Matt. And actually it was Daniel first, and I got talking to Matt. They got me interested in X-Plane. I bought up X-Plane. It's absolutely incredible if you're willing to pay the amount for it. Compared to IF, it is extremely expensive. So know what you're getting yourself into. But the realism, the global aspect, the liveries, the 3D cockpit, all of it's amazing. So that's where a lot of our time has been spent. A lot of people think, oh, well, maybe they're just in hibernation mode, flying on IF a lot. Truth is, and as much as I feel guilty talking about it, Frontier Virtual is not as active in the infinite flight, flying a lot aspect. The flight's logged, and this is all out in the open. We are trying to help you guys understand us more. The flight logging system, and I'm sorry, Matt, we'll let you talk. I just want to get out the important stuff before we get into the deep stuff. That our flights logged are not happening as much anymore. We have a little bit less activity, which, is understandable when the main focal point of your virtual airline isn't functioning anymore. We still have some very loyal pilots who talk to us. So the Slack is by far, I've actually gotten more activity in Slack. I get these email updates about it. I've gotten more activity since we went into hibernation mode than before. So if people think, we're just a dead airline, with maybe 1 or 2 people trying to keep it up, we are not. We've got 5 or 6 people on a daily basis who are out there talking with us. Anything you wanted to add to that, Matt?
Oh, yeah. I think you and Daniel can both agree that I'm kind of the most deep into X-Plane right now by how much money I've spent and how dedicated I am.
Yes, you are, sir. You spent more money than I could stomach bearings, but yes, you definitely are an X-Plane geek.
Yeah, right now I'm around $350 deep into that game. So if you guys have any questions regarding X-Plane, the AC-20 that fly, or anything else regarding that sense, just ask it in the chat. Until then, do you have anything to add on how much money it costs money wise to really keep an X-plane.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you spent what was it like $76 just on a
70.
$70 just for clouds. I mean,
Well, technically the name is an environment engine, so really it changes the weather. But by the way, Infinite Flight does not have. So just thought I'd point that out.
okay, yeah, I assume you're talking about the simulator, not me.
Right.
It's always hard when I'm
Yeah.
here that it's like, okay, I get it.
Yes. Should he change his name to X. Plane now?
Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna give a few little bit of shout outs here. Chris Wing, hello. Thanks for joining us in the live chat. Michael, or I should call you Mike. Thanks for being goofy for us. We do appreciate that. Nismo Kits, thanks for dropping by. Thank you to everybody else for your support. All right, so moving on. So you did talk about, Matt, that we have been moving over into Explain. Now answer the $1 million question. Is Frontier Virtual Airlines dead, or are we just waiting in hibernation mode? And I'll give it. I'll wait for global. I'll give a reason as soon as you answer.
Right now, in terms of Infinite Flight, I'm gonna say we're dead. Right now, I'm not planning. If Global comes out, I'm not planning on coming back to Infinite Flight for any reason. I had deleted the app.
I know. I was actually really surprised when he told me that he deleted the app. And I know a lot of people, or whoever's listening in and whoever watches it as a video when the live stream's over, are going to be like, what in the world? They're a virtual airline based out of IF, and they're talking only about X-Plane. They're talking about, well, we're done with IF. So, why is this podcast? Why is this group still going? The point is, we're not done with IF. We are in hibernation mode, and I'm going to say that as many times as it takes to get through to everybody. We are exploring our options while we wait for the most exciting option coming from IF. So there we go. Anything you want to add to that? I know I already said that before, but anything you want to add to that, Matt, before we move on?
Nope. I think we should move on.
Wilco. All right, so moving on. So a lot of people, and by a lot of people, like several people, have been asking me, what's the how are we going to be handling YouTube if we are going in hibernation mode? Some people thought we were just going to suspend YouTube for a while. What we're doing here is we are going to be keeping YouTube up. Thanks so much to Daniel, who is currently monitoring the live chat, making sure everything's going well, everything's safe. There's no trollers or whatever. So he's the huge reason this can go on. So if you do see him on the forums or see him in the chat or whatever, tell him a huge thanks. Give a thumbs up for this video. It's all because of him. Brandon Kruder, welcome aboard, my friend. Are you planning on having all real-life Frontier routes? If so, what systems are you planning on using? Database, spreadsheet? That's a question from him. Thank you, Brandon Kruder. The database for Frontier Virtual Airlines routes, once global hits, are going to be purely based on the real-life Frontier Virtual routes. Now, I don't know if many of you guys know, but we did a podcast where we talked about our expectations of global, and we did say that Matt did give us a whole map of his idea of the routes. What we're doing here is we're splitting our global routes in half. One of them is going to be based on real life. So if you're the type of person who truly they're like why would you just fly Frontier, why would you fly them London to Japan? I mean, that's why. These are the routes for you guys. They're all based 100% realistically. And the good part is if you lose, okay, do they actually have this route? But maybe you lost our website or something. You can just head over to the Frontier Airlines website, the Real World website, and it's just right there. That's the beauty of it. We've got it in 2 places now. As to the sort of routes that are going to be fake, they're not based entirely off a real world. That's for the people who are just like, okay, I like the idea of the community that Frontier Virtual has brought to the forums. I like how, everybody there is friendly. And I'm saying that from my aspect, everybody here is friendly. So it's not just me, thumping myself in the chest. The community that Matt and Daniel and Mike and Drew, yes, even Drew, you too, sir, that you guys have brought to the virtual airline. I'm very happy to be with you guys. So Thank you for that. Matt, did you have anything to add about our routes?
Not about our routes, but I do have to say our our Slack is becoming a lot more like a family of people who are sharing a form of interest for frontier for aviation. It's really a great like miniature community where we share our ideas and our thoughts. It is something that I look forward to looking at when I get up in the morning every day.
Oh, well, thank you, man. That's really nice. And like I said, Infinite Flight in our Slack is actually on the back burner at the moment. The probably like 90% of what we talk about is not even related to Infinite Flight. Yeah, we do a lot of real world aviation. When Matt, Daniel, or I go on X-plane flights, we share a lot of photos, do discussion on this livery, that aircraft. We do have a bit more than we should have of Airbus/Boeing fights, but that's what makes it fun. Nismo kits. If I can fly out of Fort Lauderdale, then my flights will be okay 24/7. Well, sir, I don't think Frontier flies out of Fort Lauderdale, but that
I
should
can
be on
check
our.
that. I can check
Yeah,
that right now.
I'm a bit hazy on on Frontier Airlines Florida routes. I know they fly like to Orlando, and Miami, but other than that, I'm a bit sketchy on. And I know Drew will be punching me in the face for that because he's very quick to remind me which ones they fly out of.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they have some Fort Lauderdale routes. I see nothing as it being a main hub. The
yeah,
main
I
Florida
don't think
hub
they
is
fly
going to
Fort
be
Lauderdale to
Orlando.
Denver though.
I see Fort Lauderdale from Chicago. I see Fort Lauderdale from Philadelphia. I don't really.
Okay,
It's,
but
it's not
do they?
like it's a massive hub though now.
Well, yeah, because I mean I'm like their number one fan, and I didn't even realize it. Um, so yeah, if it is real, and apparently it is, if I mean Chicago to Fort Lauderdale or something, yeah, absolutely, dude. You are welcome to fly that. And sorry that I didn't know that off the top. Even I have my mistakes, although I'll never admit it again. Brandon Cruder, how many active pilots do you have? Sorry for the off topic, dude. There's nothing off topic in this chat. Um, we just sort of have a very, very general outline of what we're planning on doing in this episode, and a lot of it is hinging on what you guys ask us. So ask away.
Yeah,
And
you can
I'm glad
ask
you want to know.
us. You can ask us really anything. It can be completely off topic. Ask like what's your favorite color. We don't care. Just ask
Yeah,
us
just
something.
ask us away. Just don't ask me to tell you about my horror story with Southwest because that didn't
Tell us
happen.
that.
How many
And
active pilots do we have? Brandon Cruder, we have, and I know it's a little bit bunny trail off your top question, but we have about, I'd say between 20 to 25 fully fledged pilots. Most of them are not active. I mean, I'm sure if I just messaged them, because I do this on a routine basis, I actually contact every pilot that I know is active just to double check that they're active because I hate inactivity and I will, and this is uncomfortable to say, but I will immediately suspend you if you're inactive for X amount of time.
no,
But
he's just insecure about losing them.
I don't want to lose you guys, but I will because that is taxing on our resources. If we're like are they going to come? Are they not? They're not responding. What do I do? So I don't want to have to deal with that. It's just too much stress. But yeah, we have about I'd say 5 to 6 um, pilots that are active right now. Off the top of my head, we got Daniel, Matt, myself, um, Mike, and Drew. That's about 5 right there. I think we have some people who hop on every now and then, like Q400 fans up there, Pancakes slash Savians up there. So we're not a dead airline, but we do have a lot less activity than when we used to. I remember when we used to have like 70 pilots. So it is a drop. I knew that was going to happen when I announced that we were going to cease doing Frontier Virtual stuff on the forums. I fully expected it. Frankly, I'm surprised we have what we have, and that just shows this sort of community that we've built. And like Matt said, I'm that's actually the first place I go to every morning when I can, when work doesn't claim me, is I go straight to Slack to see what all the off-topic chatter in general chat is. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, now question from Michael.
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans for motivating us to fly more? Right now, I don't know if you've noticed, but just in general, Infinite Flight, the community is kind of dwindling. They become very stressed for global. They really want global to come. So, in general, they kind of all kind of whittled away. But once global comes, yes, of course, we have plans for getting people to fly more. Events, maybe some rewards, just some general fun with the airline. We definitely plan to get us more active.
All right, and I do have a question, and I see we have an all-star game going down there. Good luck to them. I don't do sports that well, so I apologize. But we did have a question from Reed Great, who's I believe an FHTC, or no, he's going to be one on the forums. He wasn't able to make it to the live chat, but he dropped me a question. He's like, if you could choose another aircraft in IF to have the Frontier livery, which one would it be? And without a single pause, I would say the A321 because that's my favorite aircraft, literally that I've ever not just that I've ever flown on, but every time I see an A321 like next to a A380, my eyes go immediately to the A321. It's
If you had
just
said a
beautiful in
Boeing,
my
you would
eyes.
have died. If you had
I
said
I
a Boeing, you
legitimately
would
do
have
not
died.
even I legitimately do not pay attention to Boeing. Like if I see a 747 landing and I'll see like an A321 pushing back, my eyes will go to the A321 or any Airbus in general. Like there was when I was in LA, there was a I think it was like a 777 or something that was landing on 24 left, and I was sitting there, and there was like I believe it was an A319 from Spirit Airlines, and I hate Spirit, so this is interesting even for me. The whole time, the family next to me was like, "Look at that giant airplane," and I was just thinking, "Look at that yellow banana disgusting livery," but at least it's Airbus. Brandon Cruder, go Boeing. We'll try to keep the Boeing Airbus wars off for the moment. Okie smokes. Until the questions come pouring in, because we know you guys have a lot of. We're going to be talking about our plan for the channel, and I did sort of brush topics on this, but channel is going to be continually going. There's nothing's going to be changing about it. I do believe Daniel said he's going to be having promotional content. He's going to, obviously this podcast is going to go up. We're hoping to continue the podcast. I actually do not know, to be honest, what else Daniel has planned for the channel, and so that's I'm excited. Oh, he was going to be talking about X-Plane videos, since we are interested in that. So if you do like the idea of X-Plane, go ahead and drop it in the live chat. If you don't like the idea, go ahead and say that, because we really do depend on your feedback. I know Daniel would like to know what you guys would like, so I mean, we don't want to put out stuff that you guys don't like. So go ahead and leave us an idea of what you would like to see on the channel. As long as it's not Airbus Wars. Matt, anything you want to add on the topic of our channel?
Yeah, I would really like to see more of us branching out to different topics. Real world aviation, like we are. X-Plane. We already have our first X-Plane video out, that emergency landing. That would be. I really want to see more of that. It's great. This sounds very scripted.
Well, hey, I mean, come on. Maybe it was just a simulator fire. He was sitting in the cockpit, and he just got good views around it. But good job on Daniel for that video. I really did appreciate it. X-Plane is amazing, as all three of us will attest to. If you put us in chains and handcuff us and with a gun to our head say IF for X-Plane, I believe all three of us will say X-Plane. All right, Brandon Cruder, Frontier would be much better if there were more liveries, dude. Trust me. I haven't been begging, but I have definitely been praying and wishing and hoping and salivating over the hope that FDS.
Salivating.
Yes, literally, I'm salivating right now.
Okay,
That
that's weird.
FDS, yeah, it's a mess, but I just leave it there. That FDS would, A320, A319, 321. Please just give us, Frontier. It doesn't have to be the fancy green one. It can just be the exact same animal. I don't even care. I just would like it on my different Airbus aircraft, because I mean they don't fly A318 anymore. But yeah, and like TechNam2TA/Daniel said in the chat, please let us know what you think about the X-Plane videos. I know it is kind of a leap from Infinite Flight to X-Plane, and maybe that's why I didn't get as much of a response as we had hoped, because a lot of people were a little bit confused about why an Infinite Flight channel would be doing that. Now you know the reason why. And it's because we're hoping to branch out, like Matt said. We're hoping to become a bit more inclusive into all the different simulators out there.
Except P3D. No P3D.
Okay, Matt, thank you for making everybody hate us. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't think I don't even think I've watched a video on P3D. But
Yeah, that lost us a viewer. Great.
So maybe in the future we'll get some X-Plane full flights if you're willing to sit here for like 3 hours.
I would be the captain, obviously.
Yeah, Captain Matt. See, it even fits in his name. Brandon Cruda, thanks again for your questions, dude. I appreciate you being here. And I've seen a lot of live chats where questions are not asked. They don't really pay attention. They're just there for the views. We're not here for the views. We're here for you guys. If you have any questions, because I know a lot of people do private message me on the forums, and I just don't have the time to respond to all of them, and I really feel guilty about that. So this was one of the highlights of being able to do a live stream, was the fact that I was able to help you guys out. I was able to kind of make it a one-on-one, including Matt, even though we don't like him. We just keep him along for the company.
Because you don't know how to fly an A320.
Matt, you and Daniel should get a compilation of the Frontier A320 and X-plane. I think that's what Brandon Cruder was like.
I spent so much time on that A320 and X-plane to say, if you're on a Frontier flight in your life and the captain died, they're like, hey, who knows how to fly a plane? I could probably go up there and fly that plane down. Like, it's sad how much I have used this cockpit. Oh my God. You dropped your microphone, didn't you?
I don't think I could do that with Boeing, because for those who don't know, I fly Boeing only because I don't want to shell out the $60 for the A320neo gyro design. I don't have that sort of money, so I fly Boeing. I fly once a week on Saturdays just because I have college and full-time work that I do every week. So I can't spend every single day doing 5 flights like Matt does. He shows true dedication to that. Brandon Cruder, which VA would you rather join, Delta or American? That's for all of you. Well, I'll go first. Probably. Oh, this is tough. Probably Delta VA, because I know a lot of, obviously Brandon. I know you from Delta. I know some other guys. I do know Captain Rojas from American VA. He used to be the vice president of Infinite Flight Pictures Media. For those who remember my initial attempt at creating a group way in the boonies.
That was a long time ago.
That was, when the Infinite Flight Olympics came up, the very first thing I thought of was IFPM. I don't even think I have the Slack anymore. I think I deleted it.
We're all coming up on our 1 year anniversary of meeting each other, which is crazy.
Yeah. I already had my 1 year anniversary on the forums back in June.
Okay. So I'll ask that question too now. I have not really spent that much time in the forums. I have not been on there in about a week. So really, I'm going to think of it more as Delta or American, which is based on the real world airline. So I would probably join Delta, obviously, because I live in Minneapolis or near there. And so there's MSP and there's a major Delta hub, one of their biggest in the US. So I do go spotting there sometimes, and I love Delta overall, although American's amazing too. I've been on American several times. They are a great airline, so I joined both.
Yeah, Matt hasn't been on the forums a lot because of X-Plane, so you got that to blame. But yeah, I like your reasoning there. It's always good to like an airline, not just because it's American Airlines, it's the national carrier, I'm gonna like them. It's always good to actually like them for a reason, and that's why I like Frontier Airlines in real life, because I've interacted with them so much. I fly them every single chance I get. So. But if we're talking about the virtual airlines, I'd have to pick Delta over American, simply because I know more people from Delta. I know Delta is an active virtual airline. I know they're extremely amazing, especially you, Brandon. So thank you again for being here tonight. Nismo Kits, what is the very first thing you will do when you finish installing the global update? And I've said this before on a separate podcast. The very first thing I will do is spawn into Denver International Airport at gate A38 facing the west. And I know the airplane can't face it. I'll just zoom the camera around, face the west, and take a screenshot of those dang beautiful mountains. That's my first thing. What about you, Matt? If you're gonna stick around for
I'm probably going. I'll download it for sure. I'm actually kind of interested. Once the MD-11 DC-10 comes out, I will hop in there, try it out a little bit. But really, when Global comes out, I'll probably be pretty underwhelmed. Just because I already have something so much bigger in terms of what it offers as a product.
I know.
So I'm really not sure what my opinion on that is at the moment.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult, and I love Infinite Flight. It's been my companion for 8 to 9 months. It's the reason it's basically Infinite Flight brought Matt and Daniel and I together. So as much as I am slightly getting, not as interested as I was before, Infinite Flight will always have a special place to me because it's what brought all this together. So all the love I can send to Flying Development Studios, I would do so, and no pun intended. But yeah, the only issue I have with that is it's going to cost money to buy Global. Okay. What about you, Matt? Are you going to pay for Global, or are you just going to pay for X-Plane?
If it costs money, I won't buy it. No.
I think it is going to cost money. I think Tyler or Philippe said that or something. So, well, maybe we'll stick to watching YouTube videos of it.
Yeah, because I mean, X-Plane has clouds, it has weather, it has buildings. Like, you're flying along, and they say you're just like 20 miles south of Atlanta. There's a storm over Atlanta. You can see the storm. Like, you can see the cloud flying into the storm. So it's a whole different immersion experience, honestly.
I think the biggest thing people are going to take away from this live stream is that A, Matt's sick right now, and B, that he loves X-Plane. And I do agree, X-Plane's the best. I still like Infinite Flight. I'm willing to give him a chance with Global. So I'm still there for you guys at Flying Development Studios. And I know Daniel can't answer it now, but Daniel, why don't you drop in the chat what you're gonna do if you stick around for Global? All right, moving on here. Let me just check something. One sec. Okay. Okay. Hello, Michael. Is this a podcast for X-Plane? Eyes rolling, dude. I know. I knew we were gonna get people who did that. Michael, you're 100% correct. Here's the deal. I know it's easy to go back and just listen to what we've already talked about, but I'm gonna say it here again. Frontier Virtual is in hibernation mode. That's what I call it. We're basically where we're at the point where we've expended all we can out of Infinite Flight. It doesn't hold the same allure that it did back when we first started it. We're still an Infinite Flight virtual airline. That I'm staying with that. We are going to be coming back once Global hits. And I know we did talk about, well, if Global costs, I'm not going to get it. I still might get it. Basically because I have been living, ever since I joined, the first thing I wanted was Global. So it's basically been a year that I've been waiting for Global. I know a lot of people have been waiting 3 to 4 years. So,
on that topic of waiting, so this is for everyone in chat and for Robert. Do you guys think the FDS should have announced Global so soon and got the hype so early?
I do think yes, they did announce the hype too early, and I've heard other people say, and other people from Frontier and other people on the forums that, if maybe it was a huge mistake to announce the Global, I think maybe they should have just stuck with updates like the Boeing 787. They came out with they're coming out with the MD-11, I hope, or the DC-10, whichever one. I think they're both, but I think those are the stuff they should have stuck out with. And then until they absolutely knew for a fact that they were going to be able to release Global at a certain date or in a certain month, that's when they should have released it, because it's already nearing the end of, mid-July, and we haven't heard any update. But
and honestly, back in March, back when it went on the flight cast, they had a Google Hangouts, and Laura came on, showed us Global. It was amazing, honestly. And to me, I'm sure there were other bugs, but to me, it looked like a product they could have sold to us 4 months ago. So I mean, I get that they wanted to get all the bugs out, but I would have much rather them have released it then, and then smoothed it out as they went. I'm sure the community will have liked that a lot more too.
Yeah, I mean, even giving us okay, I'll admit, even if there were a ton of bugs, but they came to me and said, okay, would you like to alpha/beta test it? I would be on the hype train immediately. I think a lot of us are to the point that, yes, the bugs are going to be annoying, but we just want to get in there and just be able to look around, fly around, test out the new engine startup and shut down. I know that's something I'm looking forward to, and that's one of my big highlights when I play X-Plane is shutting them up, just turning them up and shutting them down.
It sounds amazing.
Oh, it does. I haven't got a good sound pack for the engines, but I do
I,
enjoy the
I
default
got
sounds.
I spent $20 on engine sounds.
So we got $70 on clouds and $20 on the engine sounds. Matt's really invested in this.
$120 in airplanes, a $2,000 computer. Yeah, I'm like butt deep.
All right, Michael. Yeah, I'm glad you see that our valid point here. And actually, for the past the month before I announced Frontier was going into hibernation, the main reason I stuck with IF, even though I never announced it, was because of the community. And I think that's actually what's keeping the majority of people there, a lot of the top guys there. I think it's because of the community. If Infinite Flight did not have the forum it has now, if it was just basically a simulator that you could go to and just fly it, whatever, I seriously think they wouldn't be doing anything. So they were really smart in creating a forums, and that's why I'm still here. Basically, Frontier Virtual and the forums are the reason I'm still sticking with Infinite Flight. What do you think about that, Matt? Are you here? I mean, like the last couple months before you started X-Plane, or even around the time you're starting X-Plane, what's kept you with the forums? And I know you say you're not active as much, or you never go on there, but even just going on there every now and then, what's the attraction that would bring somebody back?
Well, it's definitely not the routes, that's for sure. But yeah, the community was a major part. And it really was also the ATC. That was until I found Matsim, but that's not the point. But yeah, the ATC was really good for a mobile app at that time. So it was the
True.
ATC, the community. It really was just it was community overall going on, flying people you are friends with.
Yeah, getting to having those tags on. You're flying out of Denver, and you see the tag off in the distance, and it's somebody just seeing that, being like, man, we're just like one big family. I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that idiot who should be in grade 2. I know. But seriously, the forums / ATC are a huge benefit to flying development studios. So, Michael, I was going to ask you, since you do mention you have a Mac, do you fly X-Plane at all? And while you're answering that, Michael, I just hope he says, I just hope if we all migrate to X-Plane, and we keep our Slack and keep our core group together. You guys are my best friends,
Oh yeah,
Michael.
absolutely, dude. Yeah, the Slack is not
Yeah,
going to go anywhere if
I
that
think
happens.
even if Frontier Virtual shut down, which I have no plans of it, but in the unseen events that it has shut down, Michael, I don't think the Slack would go away. You guys, it will basically turn into a forum where we talk about aviation, this and that. That's like the bad gone to worse. I still plan on keeping the virtual airline app, and feel absolutely free to migrate to X-Plane if you'd like for the time being. That's what all of us staff have done while we're waiting for Global. We just migrated over to X-Plane. I know for sure that Infinite, and I know I said it that I'm not interested in IF as much. It's not over for me. I am coming back to Infinite Flight once they release Global. It's just a matter of time, I guess. So that's what we've been doing with X-Plane. At least I have is using X-Plane kind of as a patsy while we wait for Fine Development
Yeah,
Studios to finally release Global.
even if I do not go back to Infinite Flight, I will still always be in Slack. I mean, that is kind of like
Okay.
my lifeline because I'm a major extrovert. If I don't have people to talk to online, then I just go lay in my bed and be sad all day. It's not fun. So I need people to talk to in my life.
And if you guys cannot tell, Michael, Brandon Kruder, and you two, you guys should check out the airline. Even if you just want to come, like in your application, just put we want to join the family. We'll accept you. As you can see, we have a very close knit family. Even those of us who have left IF for now, we're still around. And like Michael said, we're just a core group. A lot of us have known each other for quite a long time. Matt, Daniel, and I are approaching our 1-year anniversary of knowing each other. So
Our
we're
Slack
gonna do
has so
something
many
special.
our Slack has so many inside jokes at this point.
If you'd come, be prepared for dirty jokes, and I may have nothing to do
Be,
with that.
be prepared for Epic Matt 2013.
Oh, that joke. Hey, at least they stopped calling me weird stuff like the ghost. I know I just brought it back up and I'm gonna be bombed with it, but that was nice having a break from that. Brandon Cruder, sorry to miss your questions. I wonder how many routes the VAs will have. Personally, Delta has real life Delta routes, about 1,000. We have them all completed and ready to use in a database system in our iOS app. You guys have an iOS app, man. That's cool. If you I don't know if it's as easy as looking up Delta in the App Store, but if you want to go ahead and link that, I will be happy to check it out. That's pretty cool. Yeah. To be honest, I think a lot of the small time VAs are gonna shut down once global hits because people are gonna start flocking to the big, well known airlines like Delta, American, British Airways, Lufthansa, Southwest. So I'm actually expecting a decrease in the amount of virtual airlines that hits once global hits. That just may be me. All right, guys, we have loved spending our evening with you, and thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot that we even have you guys here. I seriously expected nobody to show up, and I expected us to just be sitting here being like, hey, how's the cough going? Yeah, it's pretty good. You want to hear a demonstration? Stuff like that. So I'm very happy that you guys have all been here for us. And you can now join the family. All it takes is heading to our website, clicking that application. You don't have to even commit to flying Frontier Virtual. Just join the family. Consider it an bunny shoot forums from the main forums. That's pretty much what it is right now. But to answer, to put this out there one last time, we are not abandoning Infinite Flight. We are here for you guys. We are here for Flying Development Studios. We're here for the forums. We're just in hibernation mode. And I say that over and over because I've gotten at least 15 private messages asking me what happened to Frontier Virtual. Kevin says, contrary to your statement about people flocking to major VAs, thinking new IFC members will be a lifeline for smaller VAs. Yeah, and that's just my opinion. I'm sure I'm wrong. That's just what I've kind of viewed. I know I don't usually admit I'm wrong, but there's a first for everything.
I mean, I agree with you, Robert. Definitely.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Brandon Cruder, dang dude, I would have liked that Delta VA. Maybe I'll join you guys one day as a secondary virtual airline. A lot of people have asked me to join them, but the answer why I can't is because being the CEO of Frontier Virtual is a whole life on its own. So I'm really sorry, Brandon, if I can't ever make it down there. Anyway, we do have to shut down. We did plan this for 40 minutes. It's already been over that. So thank you, all of you. Nismo Kits, what do you think of fuel burn and the more realistic wind shifts? I think it's going to be amazing. I think everything Flying Development Studios is doing is they're working their best. I don't hold anything against them. I don't blame them for, not being able to release global at everybody's demand. I wish the best to them. And we're going to shut it down here. Matt, if you'd like to, if you have anything to wrap up before we go ahead and shut down. And sorry if I don't get any more questions out in the live chat, guys. We do have to shut down. And if I answer all of your amazing questions, we're going to be here for 2 more hours. Anything else, Matt?
Not right the moment. I do want to thank everyone for joining us today on this 45-minute podcast, and hopefully
our very first live show. And
hopefully we'll have
another
one. Hopefully we will have another one of these again sometime.
Yeah, maybe every 5 podcasts we'll have a live one or something like that. All right, Michael Riordan, Brandon Cruder, Kevin Sisk, Michael, and Nismo Kits. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And for the other 2 or 3 people who are watching but haven't commented yet, thank you guys so much for standing by. If you're new to the channel or you're a returning listener but haven't yet, we would appreciate any and all support you can give us, including smashing that like button and subscribing. Every bit of support you give us means the world. This has been your Frontier Virtual Podcast with your hosts, Infinite.Flight/Robert and Matt.
Hi.
For your enjoyment and comfort, please remain seated with earphones in until this episode has come to a full and complete stop. If you require any assistance on anything discussed, if you'd like to be reclarified on the fact that we are not shutting down the airline, if you have any questions at all, you can find us in the forums. Just tag Infinite.Flight or Captain_Matt.
Don't tag
even
me.
Technam2TA. You can find his name in the live chat. All 3 of us are here for you guys if you have any questions. One of our crew members will be pleased to assist you. On behalf of this airline and all of the staff on board with us today, I humbly thank all of you for tuning into this live chat and for making it a huge success, way more than I ever thought we could do. I'll see you all in the next episode. This is the Frontier Virtual Podcast, wishing you all clear skies and smooth landings. Have a great night, everyone.